In southeast Queensland's picturesque scenic rim, just over an hour's drive from Brisbane, this property looks much like many other horse studs. But it's different. Today is injection day for these donor horses. They're helping to make anti-venom against some of Australia's deadliest animals.
They get a single injection every time I'm here. Each horse has a specific vial of venom that goes into them that's matched to their ID.
The whole process happens under the management of a vet. Today it's Dr. Amy Neal keeping a close watch on the animals for any signs of trouble.
It's not too bad. Often when they come in, they get a bit of feed while they're in here, and it's over and done before they know it, so it's all a pretty easy process for them.
Easy, yes, but also critical. Without these donor horses, humans bitten or stung by deadly snakes or other venomous creatures would have far less chance of survival.
Yeah, it's important work these horses are doing in a way.
Right now there are 17 donor horses involved at the program here at Plasvacc. They're due to be retired soon, so a new herd will be inducted. It's a complex process. The amount of venom given to the animals must start at a very low dose, so it takes almost a full year of monthly injections before the horses are ready to be collected from. Over that time, the amount of venom that's given to the horses is very slowly increased, so they gradually build up an immune response and produce the required antibodies without the side effects. The blood products taken from these envenomated horses are made into antivenom at labs run by Seqirus, a company owned by global biotech leader CSL.
We have 11 antivenom products that we make, including covering the 5 major land snakes of Australia, such as taipan, black snake and death adder. We also have a polyvalent product. We produce antivenoms for redback spiders, the funnel web spider, and also for venomous sea creatures, including the sea snake, the box jellyfish and the stonefish. The horses produce a neutralising antibody to the venom. We then collect that via plasmapheresis.
It can take the best part of a day, and incredibly, just one animal can produce up to 17 litres of plasma. The horses are generally pretty happy to just stand around and eat while the blood and plasma is collected.
Anyone who's donated blood would have seen this process. We spin off the plasma and then return the red cells and the white cells and the platelets and fluids to the donor, whatever the donor is, and then that plasma has the antibodies that will go to the heart of the matter.
While the so-called snake horses and the work that they do in helping produce antivenom is a crucial part of what happens here, general plasma collection for use by vets and at large horse studs is their core business. Landline first visited Plasvacc 19 years ago. Back then, they were well and truly trailblazers.
Not just change for change's sake, but transformational change.
Owner and Chief Executive Andrew MacArthur has been with the company since the beginning.
It hasn't been without its challenges, and a lot of the stuff we sort of self-taught, we just fly by the seat of our pants. When we go to meetings, everyone laughs. They say, what are we today? Are we humble farmers? Are we in manufacturing? Are we biotech? We're the only company in Australia, one of the few in the world that do what we do with animals.
Despite that, animal plasma products are widely used and in high demand.
G'day, Michael.
At Grandview Stud in nearby Peak Crossing, administering equine plasma is commonplace during foaling season.
So one of the big reasons we give plasma is foals can only get immunity from the colostrum they get from the mare. So if either the colostrum's not of good quality or the foal was a bit slow to suckle and didn't drink enough of that colostrum, or if the mare had colostrum leaking before foaling, then that foal will not get immunity enough to prevent it from getting ill.
The costs associated with breeding thoroughbreds and looking after the mare during her 11 months gestation means owners are generally willing to do whatever it takes to ensure a foal both survives and thrives.
It's just that peace of mind because things can go downhill very quickly with a foal.
The process for giving a foal plasma is pretty hands-on.
He's had some needles before because he's had some blood tests, so he should be pretty good with it.
A check of their immunoglobulin, or IgG levels, at 12 and 24 hours after birth gives an indication of if intervention is required.
We look for a number of 800. If it's 800 above, it's pretty good. If it's below 800, then we start to talk about plasma and things like that.
The foal is laid down, but kept close to the mare at all times. Still, the procedure, which takes about 10 minutes, can be a bit daunting, especially for the new mum.
You're all right, you're all right.
Just let the head go like that.
Because you need to get a catheter into the foal's vein, you do have to hold the foal. Sometimes it's worth sedating the mare or the foal, depending on how feisty they are. At the moment, Michael, we're just running that plasma in nice and slow, and we'll just keep a close eye on him, and he seems pretty comfortable, so it's good for them as well. Being handled like that as a young age just basically teaches them that, you know, you can be touched by humans, you don't have to be frightened. But yeah, a fair bit of intervention in terms of getting it into them. It's not just as easy as giving them something in the mouth like a wormer. So I'll take that one out, and then I'll just apply.
Once all is said and done, though, it's a matter of minutes before the foal is back on its feet and frolicking by mum's side, hopefully with the best chance at warding off any future illness.
Flea won't always guarantee that they will remain healthy, but at least it gives them the best chance, because if they don't have those antibodies and they do get a little infection or a little cut or something like that, it can go downhill very quickly for them.
As well as in the horse world, there is also plenty of demand for canine plasma.
It's pretty critical in our work, so things like snake bites, rat bait toxicity, even, little puppies that are, fading and dying, it's used all the time in practice.
It's collected in much the same manner as with horses, although with dogs it's under anaesthetic.
While they're here and anaesthetised, we check their teeth, so if they need a scale and polish, we're there to clean their teeth, remove teeth if needed. Often they get a bit of a physical exam during the collection.
Being such a niche industry, a lot of the equipment and on-the-job knowledge here is unique to Plasvacc. These are human apheresis machines which have been specially modified for veterinary use, so they're suitable for the manufacture of animal blood products.
Towards the end of the collection, an additional bag is collected off, and that collects just basically pure red blood cells, and that's another product we're using in practice for animals that are anemic.
These dogs donate once a month, and when they're not in the clinic, they're kept here in these yards and kennels.
So, Amy, what's life like for the dogs here when they're not donating?
Yeah, they have a pretty cruisy lifestyle, really. What we can see here, so they all just kind of hang out together with all their mates, have a sunbake, eating, drinking, pretty, easy life for them. And when the kennel hands have time, they're all getting cuddles.
How many dogs are here?
We have close to 100 dogs, greyhounds and foxhounds.
And some have been bred, or the foxhounds?
Yeah, that's it. So the foxhounds are bred for this purpose.
The process can be somewhat confronting. But the horses and greyhounds at Plasvacc are all former racing animals, so the opportunity to serve as donors is literally another lease on life for them.
Because we're taking animals that would otherwise be euthanized and making some use of them, and they live a happy life here, we've never had an issue. All the donors that you've seen today with us would all be euthanized.
Once they've finished their services as a donor animal, they're then retired and rehomed. While animal plasma products are the bread and butter for Plasvacc, the real passion is research and development. Together with CSIRO and the University of Queensland, the company was involved in work developing a plasma for Ebola. Unfortunately, that project has since gone offshore. Most recently, they've been approached by overseas ventures to help in the development of blood plasma products for use against COVID-19.
In 5 countries around the world, it is a recognised treatment where people that have recovered from the COVID, they had carried the antibodies to the COVID. From that, they take the plasma and treat people in intensive care. So we've done a number of projects with using antibodies in humans based on our incubators, which are the horses or the dogs or whatever it is, yeah.
This is the part of the business where Andrew MacArthur sees the most opportunity for expansion.
Because the use of plasma therapy in the treatment of diseases in humans is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We're very proud of what we do. We look after our animals. Without them, we have no business.
The horses, dogs and camels that are donors here continue to be at the forefront of research and development that has the potential to enhance the lives of both animals and humans.